Hi, I'm Ricky Allen.
And I'm Cathy Griffith with Ricky Allen and Associates, Sotheby's International Realty. And today we have a special episode with all apologies to William Shakespeare. To stage or not to stage? That is the question.
We get hit a lot in our listing interviews and appointments with whether or not we should stage a home, and it becomes a pretty dramatic conversation sometimes.
Hence the Shakespeare reference.
Drama, very, very funny. One of the things that we like to talk to sellers about is the virtues of staging, and sometimes sellers can take it pretty personally.
Mm-hmm. It's a careful conversation that you have to have.
Right.
Because some people, those are their things, that's their stuff.
Right.
And to have the conversation of, we think your house would sell for more money and sell more quickly.
Right.
If you change the look of your house.
Yeah, and usually we can overcome the economic challenge of staging and show how we can get that money back in the sale price. But most of the time, the issue becomes emotional.
And there are a couple of factors to consider. One is the cost of staging. There is obviously a cost to it. Two is kind of the convenience factor of having your things moved out and having the stagers bring things in. So that can be sensitive.
I think it would really be cool for you to talk about a personal experience that you had.
Okay.
This hits home.
This was the toughest conversation to have about whether to stage or not to stage. I had the pleasure to sell my parents' house a couple years ago, and I had to tell my mom and dad, you have 50 years of lovely stuff, but it's your lovely stuff. So we have a special guest today, my dad, to come in and explain to you what he thinks the merits of staging are. So everyone, this is my dad, Jim Griffith. And Dad, we wanted to talk to you a little bit about your experience with staging. Can you share, your thoughts on it and what happened?
I've got two, I think, convincing factors, at least to me, about the benefits of staging. The first is that our house sold in one day after the first showing for 98.5% of asking price.
Just full disclosure, that doesn't happen all the time, but this is an example that it can.
Yep. The other evidence of the benefits of staging was a very personal one, and it came after my wife and I made the transition from sellers to buyers. One of the first homes we looked at looked very appealing on paper, but that appeal disappeared the moment we walked in the front door because my eyes and my brain were assaulted with this visual chaos. When I walked out of that house, my eyes hurt, my brain hurt. I couldn't tell you a thing about the layout of that house. I couldn't tell you where the kitchen was. I couldn't even tell you if it had a kitchen. A stager lets you see the house as a potential buyer would see it, not as it exists and is comfortable to you.
So you've made a decision to actually work with a stager. We suggest that you interview a few of them, and Ricky and I work with some really great stagers in town. So once you've made the decision and you've interviewed them and you've chosen which one you're going to go with, how'd the process go?
It was a relatively easy process. Once you make that decision, listen to the advice you get. It paid off.
It paid off. It certainly did. Thanks for coming, Dad.
Thanks.
For more information on staging and other expert advice, visit our website at www.rickyallen.com.